Anything is possible when you follow your heart and faith. I know that to be true. And I am so excited for every single one of you. I am right here with you. And I love connecting with so many people. So I hope to be a part of your journey. I hope that we can connect through this whole thing. It's so exciting.
Woo! I feel like that was a coach. I need a coach shower.
And now I'm going to have my wine.
Exactly. You know, I have coffee. I needed Chardonnay. Wow. I'm full. Like really,
Good.
really full. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. What I'd like to do right now is open up our phone lines. You can see I've been posting in the Facebook group. Everybody's, liking and sharing your comments. Very, 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 very moving, Shelly.
Thank you.
And what I'd say is you're spot on when you say, if it doesn't show up the way you think it is, don't judge it. And I will share that when I started this, I had a totally different picture of how this was supposed to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I miss Taskmaster. I
Mm-hmm.
have a list for everything, I have a checklist for everything. And as this telesummit has progressed, it feels surreal. It feels, and and I want you to understand that it feels God given, divinely ordered,
Mm-hmm.
completely what the universe has. I mean, I do really feel like when people meet, it is for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't really know what that is when we meet people. When we have an idea, we don't really understand how or why or, you know, can this really happen? And as this has moved forward day after day after day, it's there's something coming up in the spirit, and I know that those who are listening in feel it too. So thank you. I will be quiet. And let's open up the phone lines. If you have a question for Miss Shelley, go ahead and press *2 and let her know, if nothing else, how you felt about her story and the 10 lessons, which I loved. And, maybe you have a question for her about business. Of course, that's how this all started, really. Power players and business. So if you have a question about business, go ahead and press *2 and let her know that you're listening and you appreciate what she shared with us so far. We do have a lot of people in the Google Hangout who are also in. If you have a question in Google Hangout, go ahead and you can post your question there as well. And I'm checking over on Google. Awesome. Okay. If you have a question in the Facebook group, you can also look. We are completely connected. I'm all plugged in, technical in all places. So if you have a question, go ahead and let us know. Shelly, I do have some questions for you.
Sure.
Um, you have this consistent message, which I hear of, don't judge what you see, be open to whatever shows up, say yes and thank you to the good times, yes and thank you to the bad times as well. But what I see is that you have some preparation, right? So when you receive the call from the Today Show, you had already sent in your towels. So can you walk us through, you know, being at a place where your environment doesn't look the way you want it to look, you know, the sky is falling, if you will, but you're still preparing for something and you don't really know what it is, but you're still getting yourself in line. Can you talk to us about how you keep your mindset strong and your spirit high such that you were still able to manufacture a product, send it into the TV show, right? So can you talk to the speak to the callers about that as far as how to keep moving in spite of obstacles?
Yes, absolutely. It's actually a spiritual concept that's called act as if. Have you heard of that before? Act as if. And sometimes things might not look a certain way in your life, but you have to just act as if things are the way you want them to be. And it's one of the ways, sort of like a law of attraction type thing, that you're able to bring things into your life. So things may not look the way around you want them to, but you act as if they are. Now, I did that really helped is I read the book The Secret, and I watched the video. I watched the video The Secret, and one of the principles of The Secret is to write down what it is that you desire, and then you have to focus on it every day, and you have to envision it. You have to energize that thought, and then you release that thought. And I did that every single day, and one of the things I had written on my list was my towel will appear on the Today Show. Okay, so every day I would throw that thought in my head. I would visualize it. I would see it on the Today Show, and specifically with Hoda and Kathy Lee. And then when that happens, it's not that it just appears out of nowhere, but it's like you are guided a certain way to take certain actions. And as I wanted that, I was guided to said, with the voice that said, why don't you send product to the Today Show? Why don't you send it to this place? Why don't you send it there? See, it's not just about wanting something and saying it every day, but you have to take action when you are guided. So that's the way, even though it was depressing, it was hard figuring out how to manufacture this product on $0. I always say I started my company on $0, 100% faith, and that's the truth. And a lot of people feel like, well, I can't do that. I don't have the money. And I say to them, neither did I. Well, how did you do it? On faith. What? I really did. No, I really did. And it's the truth. And so, anything's possible, but you have to get yourself in the mind frame that you believe it's possible, because doubt is going to will kill that momentum. So it's Napoleon Hill in the book Think and Grow Rich. He uses the formula, your burning desire plus absolute faith equals anything possible. And when I read that, I went, yeah, it's true. Your burning desire, burning desire, plus absolute faith. And absolute faith is different from just faith, okay? Because in absolute faith, there are no cracks. There's no cracks where doubt can kind of seep in. It's absolute faith. So you take your burning desire, you match it up with absolute faith, it really will produce anything possible. And that is how you get past, that's how you get past the lack and the fear and the doubt. And that's how you get past what's going on. What my outside world doesn't really match this, but it doesn't matter because you have so much faith mixed with your burning desire that you're able to make it happen. I think Theresa, I just lost you. I just lost our phone call.
Can you hear me?
I just dropped your phone call. I just dropped the phone call. I'm calling back.
Okay.
It says that the line is busy, but I'm going to keep calling back until it gets in. I don't know why it dropped it. Sorry about that. Okay, I'm going to dial in right now.
Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Thank you so much, everybody, for staying here with us. What a powerful, powerful time with Shelly. Again, I loved everything that you mentioned. And can you give us some insights, Shelly, on I? There you are, Shelly.
Yes, can you hear me now?
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
So can you give us some insights on maybe books? And I know you mentioned The Secret. Are there any other books, blogs, other coaches or gurus that you follow that you can share with the audience?
Sure. I love The Four Agreements. And The Four Agreements is such a great book. It is so powerful. Everybody needs to read The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. It's a short, tiny little book, so you don't have to be intimidated. Oh, I don't have time to read that. You can read it in a weekend. You can read it in a day, really. I mean, it's not that long. But it is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful book that everybody needs to read. I also love The Alchemist, which is a really, really great book. I've read so many books, it's hard to even know where to start. I love, let's see what else, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. It is a really, really awesome book that helped point me and teach me a lot. Anything by Wayne Dyer is going to be wonderful and transformative. I love Wayne Dyer. And Marianne Williamson, I read a lot of stuff by her. I love stuff by Louise Hay, Cheryl Richardson. These are just some of my favorite authors. But I love reading and I love listening to inspirational podcasts. When I'm folding laundry, when I'm working out, whenever I'm doing something, I always have earbuds in. I'm always listening. I'm always learning. That's an opportunity. When I'm in my car, I'm listening to CDs. I'm constantly listening, learning. That's not time I check out. That's time I'm focused and I'm working towards my goals. There's a really inspirational speaker by the name of Zig Ziglar who calls it Automobile University, and he says, when you get in your car, this is your time. You got an hour in your car. This isn't time to waste. You got to learn. And I really, really take that to heart. I'm constantly listening to audiobooks and learning. It's important.
Awesome. So with that said, can you talk to us about, you mentioned the recession and how you had the meltdown. I think we can all relate to that.
Right.
And talk to us about your process or any actions you took to overcome that obstacle of the threat of really having everything taken away from you. Can you talk to the callers about that?
That was the most horrible thing. Just terrible. I don't wish that on anyone. I pray that none of you ever have to go through that. We really lost everything that we've ever worked for our entire life. How you work through that? It's just time. It just takes time. I think I came through it because I have so much faith. And I think it would have been very hard to get through without faith because I wouldn't have been able to find a meaning in it. And then I think I would have still been stuck in the blame and the anger. And it would have been hard to get back up again. But because I have so much faith, I was able to latch on to that. And my spiritual journey began. During this whole time, when I was going through losing the home and that, a friend of mine, another powerful book by Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now, wonderful, wonderful book that everybody should read, came into my life. There are no coincidences. Everything just comes to you when you need it. And the book, The Power of Now, showed up in my hands, and I read that book, and it completely changed my life. And I started realizing that the only thing that is real is now. This moment, right here, this moment with you and I that we're sharing is real. But see, 5 minutes ago, it no longer exists, right? And 5 minutes from now does not exist yet we spend so much of our time in the past and in the future. Our minds are constantly, what happened in the past? What went wrong? What's going to happen in the future? Fear. We're constantly living in these places that don't even exist. The only moment that exists is now. That's why your power is now. It's called the power of now. So we need to spend our time being focused, being present in the present moment. That's where we can harness our power to make all the difference in our life. And we move forward, we make those changes when we start becoming present to our lives, present to the voice, present to our message, present to the destiny, and get out of, what didn't work in the past, the fearful for what's going to happen in the future. So that book, I think, was one thing in this spiritual journey which helped me get out of what I was going through in the recession and helped give me faith to move me forward.
Awesome. I love that. I have not read that one, so I have to pick it up. The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle.
Yes.
Fantastic. So we do have one caller in with the hand raised. And caller, your number ends in 7951. I will unmute your line. Please state your name for Shelly. Tell her a little bit about your business and then ask your question. Thank you so much. Your line is unmuted and you're live on the air.
Good evening. This is Yolanda.
I love it.
I love the savings story and just feeding your business by faith, with faith. And I was curious, how did you share this awesome product that friends, family, potential partners you might have, knowing you weren't having a great fiscal abundance, you had a great savings abundance. So what did the conversation sort of look like? And you were saying, I have this marvelous child in the savings world, one day at a time. what did the conversation sort of look like? Because I think there's things that I want to do, like I'm going to be rolling out a coaching program for seniors, and then I'm going to do that to the field program for children grades 6 to 12, and I'm trying to do a project that investigated all of the planning. But I'm trying to understand how other entrepreneurs kind of language or share the message of their wonderful services and products. And I think you probably do a good job. I just wanted to know, just give us an example of what you share.
Sure. Well, I have to say that message has changed over the years. And in the beginning, I think like a lot of entrepreneurs who are just starting, especially women, okay, we don't have a lot of confidence in the beginning. And we have a hard time, tell me if this rings true with you, asking for money for our services. And that's hard for a lot of women in the beginning. And so when I first made my product, although I knew it was great, it worked great for my kids, I had a hard time selling it to people that I knew because I just didn't feel worthy. I don't know why. I did not feel worthy at the time of it. It felt silly. It felt very hard for me to do. And I had a home party for the very first time I sold my towels. I invited all my friends and my neighbors. And I sold a lot of towels. I sold 80 towels that night, and it was very successful for me. But I had such a hard time worrying about, oh my gosh, what if they don't like it? Or what if something happens in the dryer? And what if this and that? And I was a nervous wreck in the beginning. And because I was so worried about it, it stopped me and slowed me down. And I didn't want to share it with anyone else for a while because I was terrified about it. But then as time went on, And I got past that fear. And I really knew, sometimes it just takes that feedback too. You start getting feedback from those friends and family to say, this is really great. And I'm kind of like, are you just saying that, or do you really think it's great? No, it's really great. And when I started selling it to other people who I didn't know and getting that type of feedback, then you build your confidence. And you build your confidence. And once you get, you know, a big account, I got an account with Legoland. Now this isn't just a silly thing anymore. I just got an account with Legoland. Okay, this is a real product. I'm really doing this. And that confidence builds. That confidence builds. You know, but it was very hard, my first few phone calls with major buyers. I was terrified. And now I could speak to a buyer in a second with all the confidence in the world. So the confidence is going to grow over time. Your message will grow over time. But I think what you have to have is it's confidence. It's all about being confident in who you are, what you have to offer, and knowing that you are indeed worthy of it. And I think when you're in that space, see, back when I started, I wasn't confident, and I didn't feel worthy, and I didn't like receiving. So it was a rough, rocky start. Now I am confident. I know I'm worthy, and I'm okay with receiving. So it becomes a lot easier. Does that make sense? Good. You're welcome. Thank you, Yolanda. It's so nice to talk to you.
Thank you, Yolanda. I will mute your line for your privacy. Thank you so much for calling in. And if there's anyone else on the line who has a question, now is your time. Don't miss this opportunity to ask a question of Shelly. Go ahead and press *2, and let's get you on the air live to ask your question. Is there anyone else who would like to? Everybody's quiet tonight. It may be the Texas. I'm not sure.
Well, Theresa,
yeah.
I have another story to share. If we have a little bit of time, I'd like to share with you something exciting. Something exciting happened today. Okay, so I want to share with you. You are the first people to see this. I got a PO with SeaWorld. Okay, SeaWorld in Florida, and with their Sesame Street division, they have asked me to create a Sesame Street towel for them. And this is I just got the samples today. This is why I'm so excited. An hour ago, they just arrived FedEx. This is my Elmo towel. Can you see it? See? This is my Elmo towel. This is going to be selling at SeaWorld in Florida this summer. Here's Elmo. And this is, I'll show you, this is Cookie Monster.
Oh my gosh.
This is Cookie Monster. And it turned out so great. But an exciting thing about it is this. Let me tell you. Remember when I went back and I was telling you about my list for The Secret, and I had on it the Today Show, okay? Well, one of the things on it was getting an account with SeaWorld. And it wasn't proving an easy thing to do. I'd gotten into several, major theme parks, but SeaWorld was not budging. So I decided to go to the World Water Park Trade Show. And it was sort of a risky thing to do because it was an expensive show to attend. But something within me just said, you need to go. You need to be there. You need to go. You need to be there. You need to risk this. And I remember thinking, well, if I go, as long as I meet SeaWorld and I connect with someone from SeaWorld, it'll be worth it. So I go to the show, and it's actually very poorly attended. And I was so disappointed. A lot of trade shows these days are very poorly attended, and this was in the thick of the recession because they're expensive, to attend. So anyhow, the whole first day goes by, and I got a few looky-loos, a few things here, but nothing really happened. Well, at the end of the first day, a girl comes up to my booth, and she's real nice. She's young, and she has her badge turned around. See, so I couldn't tell, because of course when you're at a trade show, you're always looking at the person's badge. Who am I talking to? So her badge is turned around. I have no idea who she is. And we just hit it off, and we start chatting it up, and blah, blah, and, oh, I love your product. What do you do? Blah, blah. We start talking, and we just connect. I love this girl. She's just great. Are you alone? Yeah, I'm here by myself. And she says, oh my gosh, we've got a great big group with us. You should, because it was in New Orleans. And she said, we're going to go out to Bourbon Street tonight. Have you been to Bourbon Street? I said, no, I was just going to go back to my room. I'm too afraid to go out by myself. And she said, oh, come with us. we've got a whole group coming. You know, you should definitely come with us. It would be great. And I said, sure, I'd love to go with you guys. And just as she's leaving, her badge floats back over, and her name's Kimberly, and she's from SeaWorld. Okay. And I just went, are you kidding me? Okay. So I go meet them after the show, and I don't just meet her. I meet everybody part of the SeaWorld team. And now we're not just hanging out. We're going to Bourbon Street. and we're hanging out, and SeaWorld, they bought me dinner. They're buying me drinks all night. We're doing shots at 2 in the morning, right? And I left there with a contact to their buyer.
Wow. And
it wasn't an immediate yes. Actually, the buyer told me no. Several times she told me no. For the first few times, she never replied to my emails. Okay, but I just kept emailing. And then my new friends from SeaWorld, I kind of tagged them in a few, but hey, I'm not hearing it from so. And all of a sudden she replied and said, well, we're not really interested in your product. But see, I didn't see that as a no. Right. I saw that as a maybe because she replied. So I felt like my foot was kind of in the door, and I stuck my foot in and pushed until it opened again. And, you know, I finally got them to give me a PO. And so I'm really proud of that account because it shows my tenacity, and it really shows that I don't take no for an answer. When there's something that I see and I know and I believe, then it's just going to be. You're not going to tell me no. I'm going to figure out a way to make it happen. And, you know, that original product that I sent them, that original PO didn't really go anywhere, but it all came back around in November when they contacted me and asked me to develop a Sesame Street product. And I think we have a big winner here. And, you know, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with it. But I love that story. I love the way I was guided to meet them there and the way it all happened. It was exciting to me.
Wow, congratulations on that. That is absolutely amazing.
Thank
I've been
you.
in the, you know, consumer products business, so I know when you get the PO in hand, all the press is stopped and you celebrate.
Yes, yes,
So,
yes, and I'm celebrating. Yay.
I understand how you feel about that. So let me ask a question, though, and segue just a little bit before we wrap up here tonight. How would you, in your tenacity and going after the PO and securing the deal with SeaWorld, how would that compare to the service business? As I mentioned to you earlier, we have coaches and you know, those in the self-development industry. How would that segue or parlay into the service business versus the consumer products business?
Well, I think it's all the same thing. When you have yourself in the mind frame of what you want, it's the same thing. You just have to put in your heart what it is you desire. So when you desire X amount of clients, you know, then that's what you put in your heart. And the same thing as you do your mantras. I do the same thing every day. I do my affirmations every single morning, you know, and I'm an author, I'm a speaker, I'm abundant. There's nothing I can't do in faith. I tell myself, I'm so blessed for this day. I'm so grateful. I love my life. Life loves me. I want to serve. And you know, you fill yourself up with that constantly. It's the same thing no matter what you're going after, whether it's a service-based business or it's a product-based business. When I'm going after that PO, you're going after those customers, that clientele. Hold that intention in your heart. See those clients. Ask to serve. And when you ask to serve, they will show up. You know, when the student's ready, the master appears, and I do believe that to be true. And so ask to serve, and the people that you will serve will appear. Because that's what it's all about. It's not when you're focused on how much money am I going to make. When you're focused on how can I serve, that's when you're living your life on purpose, when it will start to appear. And the money and the success, that will all follow. But you have to start in service. It all starts in service.
Awesome. I love that. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome.
So if there's any other questions, if you have a question for Shelly, please go ahead and press *2. And we will be wrapping up here very soon. So if you have a question, press *2, get yourself in line. I'm going to just check our Google Hangout to make sure that we are not missing any questions there. And Shelly, while I'm doing my QC here, why don't you let the people know how they can get in contact with you? Tell us about your product, and if there are any discounts or promotions or anything like that you want to offer. Why don't you go ahead and do that now?
Yes, there is actually. I put a coupon code live on my website for your audience, and the coupon code is Power Players. One word, Power Players, for 40% off.
Oh, wow.
So I only offer that one time a year on Black Friday, but I'm offering it tonight for all the Power Players. So Power Players. Go to my website and in the coupon code section, enter Power Players and you'll get 40% off. Now is the time because summer's coming and you are going to want one of these towels. It is, I say it's the best four-in-one towel. It's a bath towel, a beach towel, a cover-up, and a changing towel all in one. It really is a great product. Instead of it just being a changing towel, it really is a great everyday bath towel. And when kids have this towel, they want to use it. You are going to love it because when the kids get out of the bath, you don't have to dry them off anymore. You get them out, they can put it on over themselves, and they can dry themselves off, and then they walk to their room covered, warm. It really is such a basic idea, but it really is a useful product. So there's that, and listen, I love connecting with people. Like I said, my journey is all about connecting and helping other people along their path. So I would love it if you would connect with me on Facebook. And my personal business page is Shelly, Shelly, middle initial J, last name Ehler, Ehler, Shelly J. Ehler, and you'll find me at Facebook. That's my personal business Facebook page, and you can also find me on Facebook at Shono Towels, and you'll find me there. So please connect, please say hi. I would love to connect with you. I'd love to help you in any way and support you on your journey. Feel free to reach out at any time. You can email me. My email is Shelly@Shono, Showno, Shelly@Shono.com. So, like I said, feel free to reach out and connect. It's my pleasure.
Shelly, we do have a question coming in. Caller, your number ends in 8249. And I will unmute your line. Go ahead and state your name for Shelly. And Shelly, I was mispronouncing your last name. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
I'm so
no,
sorry.
everybody gets, I don't ever correct anybody because it
so
sounds like don't worry about it at all. Nope.
Caller, I'm unmuting. Please state your name. Tell us a little bit about what you do and your question for Shelly. You are live on the air.
Hello, Shelly.
Hi.
As well as a interior design company.
Mm-hmm.
My question to you was, are you involved in your day-to-day operations of your company, or do you delegate to people?
Okay, good question. I do everything, which isn't the best way to run your business. Okay, but because I've often heard that you cannot work on your business when you're working in your business. You're supposed to work on your business, not in your business. So it's very important. Actually, it's the best way for you to grow your business. So I'm not a good example of that because I do everything. I am still in charge of manufacturing all the towels. Now I don't sew them. I have them all sewn for me. But I'm in charge of all the manufacturing. I bring in the towels. I have them manufactured. I do all my sales. I do everything. Everything. There literally is one employee at Shono Towels, and you're looking at her. So, yeah.
For some reason, I get to know that I do computer and then taking control of that. And
Thank you.
thank you for actually quite a few mention I actually did. I have
Okay.
picking over to my bag right now that I'm leaving. So thanks for sharing that. It's confirmation for me to know that I'm on the right track as far as the spiritual development and for me, embracing what the universe has to offer because a lot of times I've been in situations where I've they process it like me. My
Yeah.
background in finance actually have an accounting degree, so I'm always thinking. And, next thing I know, it's out there. So, I appreciate and respect the fact that, something came up, you thought about it, somebody got out of your bed and you made it happen. So, and I have to say that, out of all the things that come, the different products that have come on Shark Tank, yours is one of my favorite ones. I know it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I want you to know, you're not alone. A lot of people have that same fear when it comes to developing a product, and I hear it so often. Well, I'm afraid of putting it out there, and it's going to get stolen, so I didn't do it, and I held on it, and I sat on it, and I sat on it, and I sat on it. I'm too afraid to put it out there. What if someone... listen, you cannot let fear rule you, okay? You have it. You do it. The minute you get it, it came to you for a reason. It came to you for a reason. Now you act on it, okay? You act on it, and don't worry about it. I've had so many people say, but aren't you afraid someone's going to rip you off? I said, listen, I've been on Shark Tank to over 6 million people. My episode is re-aired probably more than any other episode of Shark Tank. I reran last night, okay? So I think I've rerun 13, 14, maybe 15 times more than anyone. My product is on. Nobody's ripping me off. And you know why I think not? And maybe they are. Because I don't care. I don't focus on that. Okay, what you put your attention on and what you focus on shows up in your life. So if I were sitting around every day going, so I'm gonna get ripped off. I'm gonna get ripped off. I'm gonna get ripped off. I guarantee you, I would have. So the best thing you can do and worry about that. Don't think about it. I never think that thought ever. I don't care. So, you know what? There's room for everybody in this world. Just do your own thing.
If I must say, that's a two snaps answer if I've ever heard one. I love it. Do your own thing. Put blinders on. Don't worry about anybody else, and really just go for it.
No.
How do you feel about that answer? Anything else you want to add to it, caller?
No, but I would like to. I'll write that down. The magic of thinking big, I'll write that down. Okay. Thank you. I love thinking big. Thinking big is the only way to think, okay? Because the universe has a dream that is so much bigger for you than you can ever even possibly imagine. And when things don't work out, I know it's because something bigger and better is coming. So if something doesn't work out and I'll think, damn, no, bigger and better? Yeah. Bigger and better than that? Yeah. Keep going. Keep believing. It's bigger and better. Bigger and better? Yeah. Bigger and better. Always bigger and better. Don't limit yourself with your thinking. Good. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's always... Yep. And when you have an idea, a lot of times it's out there in the universe. It's who's going to be brave enough to rush to it first. So the next time it comes, just go for it. And I think you're on the right track. The fact that you're listening right now, the fact that you're calling in, that you're connecting, that you're reading these books, you are exactly where you're supposed to be. Take this as confirmation, as affirmation. You are right where you're supposed to be. There's no coincidence that we're talking tonight. And I see big things for you in your future. I'm really excited for you. So keep going, keep moving forward. You're welcome. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I will mute your phone line for your privacy. And Shelly, thank you. Thank you. What an amazing story. And I know when we spoke earlier, you said, well, it's not really about Shark Tank, it's about my story. And I thought, okay.
You didn't know it was going to be about all this, right?
You blew my socks. Well, I don't really wear socks. You blew my stilettos off.
I hear that a lot. God, I wasn't expecting that.
No, you brought it. Thank you.
Good.
You know, we have your contact information. Thank you for the discount. I definitely have nieces and nephews back home, and so I definitely will be on buying. Oh, well, let me ask you, the towels that you showed on the screen, those are only for SeaWorld? They will not be available for purchase on your website?
Yeah, I can't sell those. Those are only
Darn it.
sold through, sorry, those are only sold through SeaWorld in Florida for now. And then we'll see. After I have a test PO right now, and then we'll see. Hopefully they'll be in all the SeaWorlds, in the near future.
Awesome. Crossing fingers and toes. Well, thank you so much, dear Shelly. Really appreciate it. Thank you to the callers who came in and sat, and the callers who called in and joined us and really participated in the show. Um, I hope you're getting out of this what I'm getting out of this. Be fearless, do your thing, be bold, be brave in spite of what is going on around you. Turn off the news, turn off all of that bad, negative. Get rid of those negative vibes on Facebook, on social media. Stop. Give yourself a week of no negative media and see what happens. Watch what happens when you get rid. I mean, no bad reality shows and all of those things. Cut out the negativity for a week and watch how much your power will increase. Do the mantras. I have posted the 10 steps and lessons that Shelly shared with us tonight in the Facebook group, so you have no excuses. Go on over to the Facebook group, grab those lessons on a daily basis, practice them. And with that, I would like to say that tomorrow night we're going to end this wonderful, wonderful Power Players Telesummit with a dear friend of mine from Warner Brothers. And she is doing something that I believe we all have at some point, which is working a corporate job and also building a company. And she's also making it look easy. So join us tomorrow night for Andrea Smith, and she's a project manager at Warner Brothers, and she will come and share not only her knowledge of entertainment industry, but also, again, time management, how to be powerful, fearless, bold, and manage your time, right? Which is what we all need to do every day in order to do this with any level of success. So thank you, Shelly.
Thank you, Theresa.
Callers. Thank you, audience. And I've had some questions about replays and when this would be available. Give us about a week. We've had some technical snafus, so we have to get everything together, make sure the audio is perfect. We will make replays available in about a week, and that will be video and audio replays. So again, thank you so much, everyone. Have a fabulous evening. Shelly, go ahead and finish that wonderful glass of Merlot or Cabernet or yay!
Yay!
For my Chardonnay now. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful night. Thank you. Thanks, Shelly.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Theresa.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.